Want to take a career break, but you're scared about how taking a break might impact future job opportunities? Today, we're talking about how to address a career break during an interview. First, let's be realistic. Gaps on your resume aren't as surprising now as they may have been 10 years ago. We're in a pandemic. Companies have been downsizing. People have been needing to stay home to get medical care, and they've needed people to stay home with them to give them medical care. So, that old idea that having a gap on your resume will stop people from hiring you isn't as realistic now as it used to be. So let's get to it. How are you going to talk about your career break when you're done with it, you're ready to go back to work, and you've started job searching again? First off, you need to be prepared with an explanation. And not just on my way into the interview, I'm thinking about what I want to say. The minute you take your break, you decide you're going to take a break. Before you even go on the break, you should be preparing for what you're going to say about your break, how you're going to position your break the next time you have to explain in an interview, right? You want to be ready all along the way. You want everything you do to be intentional along the way so that when you're ready to interview again, you're in a perfect position. Second, you want to be honest and upfront about your break, why you took it, all the details without oversharing, right? If you got really ill and needed to take a break, people don't really need the details. You took it for health reasons, right? Or you needed to be someone's caretaker. You wanted to take some time off and explore the world. Whatever your answer is, if it's honest, be prepared to give that answer and not too much more. Now, if you're talking to an interviewer that pushes back a lot and needs to know the fine tune, the details, they want to know everything, think about whether you're comfortable with what's going on. And if the way the interviewer is questioning you makes you uncomfortable, this might not be the job for you. You're going to want to highlight any temporary or voluntary work you did during this time, any education you got, anything you did in this period that might make you a great candidate for the job you're interviewing for now. You want to highlight that and let the people know that you're talking to that you used this break period productively. Now, I'm not saying that your entire break should be preparing for your next job. I'm saying maybe you read a book, right? Maybe you take a 6 month break, you read one book that helps you learn the skills for a new job, and you say, I gained these skills. Or however you can couch the things you've done and what you experienced in that break, how can you turn that break into a positive, right? I took time off and I meditated with monks, and I'm returning a much more centered employee with more bandwidth for company concerns, or something that sounds better than that, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. My first gap in employment was involuntary, and it was pretty hard for me to explain that I got laid off. And not because I wasn't in the middle of, I mean, we were in the middle of a recession, and people were getting laid off like crazy, but it still kind of felt a way about it. But I could explain it. My last gap, and the one I've been on for years, was a voluntary gap. And I think we have to be careful when you're talking about voluntary gaps because you want to explain why you left, the reasons that you left, but you also want to explain to an interviewer. An interviewer is going to want to hear something comforting that's going to let them know that you're not going to leave them like you left your last employer because you felt like it, right? You need to say something that makes them say, like, oh, I needed X and I got X during my time, right? I needed to do Y and I did Y. It reminds me of, I think, the very beginning scene in Ocean's 11. Danny Ocean is talking to the parole board, and they ask him why he robbed whatever he stole, right? Why he offended. And he was like, something like, my wife left me and I spun out of control. And then the parole board says, if we release you, are you likely to reoffend? And he's like, well, she's probably not going to leave me again, right? Something like that. Like, my marriage collapsed. Am I going to leave this job again? No, because my marriage collapsed once and we're done, right? Like, that's over. Something like that. Something that gives comfort to the idea that I took care of the business I needed to take care of on my voluntary break. it won't be happening again. Now, that's not a guarantee because, I'm going to tell you, if you want to go again, go again. But, in an interview, they're saying things that aren't exactly true to you too, right? Like tell them, get close to it. Stay as true to your narrative as you can, but you don't have to give them everything, right? You don't have to tell them that you plan on leaving again in never 3 years unless they directly ask you that question, right? Um, in the U.S., employers can get rid of us employees whenever they want, but we're supposed to be loyal to them. Be loyal to yourself, right? Like if you need to leave again, even if you told them that you're not gonna leave again, or you've satisfied whatever urge you had, do what you've got to do to take care of yourself. If you've explained why you're unlikely to take another break, also explain why now you're ready to go back to work, right? So, what is it, the thing that you needed to do, why you needed to take a break, or what you wanted to get out of life? Explain why that door is closed and you're unlikely to take a break again. Be confident in your own decisions and while talking about the decisions you've made. Confidence is going to take you a long way here. Know who you are before you get in that interview and know the kind of company you want to work for. If taking a career break is like, if it has your interviewer just like in knots, right? If they just can't imagine it and they're like, can't make sense of it and they're having such a hard time and they're trying to make you feel bad about taking a break, you probably don't want to work for them, right? Like that doesn't sound like a very healthy work environment. So if the facts as they lay make this potential employer uncomfortable, it won't be a huge loss for you if you don't get this job. Last on the list, you're going to want to practice this with other people, right? So you're going to want to sit down and talk to people about your break. A lot of times when I was on my break, I kind of didn't, people would ask me, like, what are you doing here? And I wouldn't give them the full story. Practice, if you want to go back to work after your break, practice telling the story in a way that's really comfortable and you can kind of whip it off like an elevator speech. You can give someone in 30 seconds why you took the break, why you chose to do what you chose to do on your break, and why now is the perfect time to go back to work. You know, Anytime anyone asks you, give them the whole spiel, whether it's more than they need or not. Practice doing it so that when an interviewer comes with a question, you're totally ready and you're not stammering over your words. If this video was helpful, watch my video on 10 things I'd do now if I was planning a career break. And don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.